This video is going to show you how to fix pop belt lines. Currently working on a 2006 Monaco Diplomat. So as you can see right here is we're working on the lower belt line now. It goes all the way back. First thing we got to do is you have to take some screws out. There's a screw right there on this end. And then there's a screw right down on this end as well. Right there, you pop those screws. It does help if you take your slide out a couple inches, give you some working room. Next thing we are doing is we are taking the caulk off the top of, the old caulk I should say, off the top of the belt line, because that's where we're going to reseal when we are done. And right here is the caulk removal tool. What's it called?
3-in-1 caulk removal tool.
3-in-1 caulk removal tool. You can get it online at, where'd you get it? Amazon?
Amazon.
On Amazon. So as you can see, he's taking the caulk off like that. Be very careful so you don't scratch the paint.
All right, so this is actually where the screw has rusted, and it actually is backing out and breaking the rubber trim piece here. So when we go back in here, we got to do more. We got to put some more caulk on the inside of that because there's already a break in the seal.
That's real good. Give you a close-up. That's what a pop belt line looks like. And again, that's the screw that's backing out.
In order to keep this tool flat so that it doesn't gouge the paint, I got finger pressure in there to hold it flat. And I can also use my thumb here, and then I'm just going back and forth until it finally gets underneath enough to start peeling the caulk off. Sometimes it comes off easy, sometimes not. Then I go back with the plastic side and I hold my hand over this so I don't scratch my coach, and probably see it better from this. So let me turn it around.
Good.
And I can get this last bit off.
And then of course we'll clean all this up with that denatured alcohol, and we'll be ready to put the new coat of ProFlex down.
This is all the silicone that comes on the coach. This is the small bit that we have to take off with that tool.
And sometimes you get lucky and get a big strand just like that. Right, so here's another pro tip. We found that if you use a bristle brush,
Nylon bristle
brush, after you've cleaned up the track, there's a little spot, you can just take the nylon brush and it just takes all the rest out.
See all that right there? Just getting all that.
Just to get every little bit of debris out of there. And again, this is after we've used the caulk removal tool, cleaned it up with some of the alcohol. And wipe it up, and now this surface is ready for some new caulk. So right now we're just cleaning the top of the belt line where we took the old caulk off. We are using denatured alcohol. And you just wipe it off to get a nice clean surface when we put the ProFlex on. That's what you use, right? ProFlex?
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely what's recommended on RVs. And just wipe it just like that. Get all the old caulk off. We already used the caulk removal tool to get the bulk of it off, and we're just cleaning the surface now. And we do that all the way down.
Correct. Okay, good.
So again, using that denatured alcohol, just clean it up, cleaning the surface so we could put some new caulk down. Just like that. And just go all the way down the belt line. All right, so this belt line is ready to be removed. So again, we took the screws off, one there and there. We have taken all the caulk off the top of that belt line, and now we are gonna carefully pry this edge off, or the belt line. It just comes right off just like that. You want to be very careful.
Very gentle.
Very gentle. You don't want the paint to crack. You can see it comes off nice and easy.
Yeah. Now the clear coat on this belt line is already popped, so you can see that before we even started. My clear coat's already in bad shape, so we will.
But yeah,
I think this one's short enough. We'll just lay it on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, be very careful as you're pulling this off.
Notice this screw right here. It's backing out already.
So this is what causes the popped belt line. Right there is a screw. You can see it's rusted a little on the inside, but it's popped out.
This one's rusted a lot.
Here's one that's rusted as well. Here's all the rest of them. Here's another one as well. So that is what the belt line looks like. All right, so now we are going to remove, this is a longer piece of belt line, as you can see. So what we're doing is we're removing it, you pry it from the end, and we're taping it up as we go, being very careful not to twist it, because again, you don't want to crack that clear coat on it. So he's just popping it just a little bit at a time. Very easy, very nice and easy, and just taping it up as we go. If you just use this blue painter's tape, it will not hurt the paint on the coach. Just popping it as we go, and on these long runs like this, we're only going to do about half at a time. So right here, here is what, look at that, it's rusted, it's popped out, and right there is where it was popped out earlier. So we're just going to tape it as we go, just very easy and gently. And we're only going to go down about halfway. As you can see, it comes off pretty easy. But again, you want to be very gentle with it. You're just going to go the whole way?
Right here. I'm going to stop right over the tire as our spot to mark to stop. And then we will put just a random piece of blue tape to tell us where we stopped. That's the last screw we went
There,
to.
and again, as you can see, here is the belt line. You can look. Next thing we'll be doing, you can see you got some rusted screws right in there. That's where that one had popped. Rusted. So we're going to go through. We're going to take out the screws that are loose. We're going to re-drill some holes and put new rivets in. Here we are testing them. You see that one? The head pops right off.
I don't know how the head to
See,
pop
that
off.
one's all rusted. If they're loose, we will take them off, or they'll just break off when they're clean. We're just going to do this all the way down.
All right, so now I'm going to go down the belt line and test. If the screw is loose enough to just come out, we're going to remove it. And we'll backfill these holes with ProFlex.
Yep, and you definitely want to use ProFlex when you're filling in holes and sealing, sealing it up.
See,
and
that
you see
one
that one,
twisted
the head
off.
just twisted right off. So we will fill that hole. We're going to fill all the holes with ProFlex. And again, if they're in there, we leave them. If not, we take them out, or they just come right off like that one did. The heads just snap off.
And you want to be sure and fill those holes. You don't want to leave holes in your coach unprotected. So that's what was sort of holding my belt line on. And we're lucky that one came all the way out. They don't usually do that. They usually break first.
So anything that's rusted or coming out, we're definitely removing. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to drill a new hole for the rivets.
Now for clarity, we're not using a drill stop, but you really want a drill stop on here because you don't want this to go more than an inch deep into your coach. All right.
Here we are drilling some new holes. So we have taken out all the old screws. Most of them, the heads broke off. And we are just drilling new holes right next to it. We got to go in about an inch. we go. We're just going to do this all the way down. All right, so we've got everything ready. All the holes are drilled. The screws that are staying in are staying in. Now we're going to put some new rivets in. Here are the rivets that we are going to use, and what are they again, Scotty?
They're 3/16 diameter by 7/8 grip dome head, and that would be a small head, all stainless steel pop rivet.
Cool. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to put them in the holes like this.
Chris is going to tell me everything I did wrong.
Did you blow that yet?
I did. All right, so this is an air-powered pop rivet gun. You can use a manual rivet gun. We'll show you the difference. This is about a $30 tool. The other is about a $100 tool.
All right.
Okay, so this is the manual tool, and we're gonna draw that rivet out till it pops. There you go.
There it is, nice and solid in there.
So the manual tool is about a $30 tool you can get on Amazon or Harbor Freight or somewhere like that. This is an air rivet gun. This was about $100 on Amazon. I consider it a one-time use tool because we're doing so many rivets and it makes it faster.
Much easier with that. And we'll just continue all the way down till they're all in. So here's the finished product after you get all the new rivets in there. Again, these are stainless steel, so they will not rust. Look at that, nice and firm in there. All right, so now we are going to put this rubber trim piece back over. Again, we've drilled out, we've put new rivets in. And what you want to do with this, you want to get the bottom edge of it in first and then push it, pop the top in, just like so. And we just tape it as we go, untape it, I should say, a little bit at a time. We're just going to do that all the way down. All right, so here we are putting a piece of the rubber cover back on. You start on the bottom, you get it in the track, and then you push it down on the top. Just like that. And then right on the end, if you notice, there we put some caulk. Pull that out a little bit. Pull that out. We put some of the ProFlex right there in the end, so that'll seal it up in the end. And we did it to the other side as well. And now we're just pushing it right back in the track, and then after that we will throw some ProFlex caulk down the edges and we'll be good to go. All right, so here we are going to ProFlex this belt line. So again, we're going to start on the top right there. We'll take it all the way down. Give you an angle from over here. You see just run a nice little bead right there. We're going to take it all the way down, and then we'll come back and we'll hit this ridge right here, right there, with that same ProFlex. And then that'll be it for this one. All right, so of course the final thing is you have to run a bead of ProFlex along this top edge right here. And we also ran one along this edge right here. Now what we do is go back with some mineral spirits just to smooth it out. And it is very important that you do wear gloves because this ProFlex does not come off. And so here we are putting some ProFlex on. here. You see, just put a small bead right down the crack there. That'll stop water from getting it behind it. Just like that, and you do it all the way down. Now this is not the belt line, this is part of the slide. But you definitely want to, we took off the old caulk, cleaned it up. And now we're just running some ProFlex right down there, just seal her up. Just take it all the way down.